World Geography, Location and Geographic Tools. Okay, so we are covering Unit 1, Concept 1, Parts of a Map. If you guys notice, if you've been watching the videos, like this will be the first time that you've seen like a title video. Do not worry about it. This is not the first video you should have watched, okay? This should actually have been the fourth video. We had the first video discussed longitude and latitude, and then we had the second two videos that discussed the types of maps. So what I will start doing going forward is to put this kind of a title page in, just to kind of help anyone who's looking at it online at a later date, if you want to review for a test, to kind of help you put everything in order. But it's fine. This should be about the fourth video that you've seen, okay? So this is World Geography, Unit 1, Concept 1, Parts of a Map. Pretty simple. So this is a pretty simple video. We'll be in and out of it pretty quickly. So parts of a map. The first thing we'll discuss is the map title. So if we take a look at this particular map, this is the title of the map, the United States. Normally the title of the map is, you'll find it at the top of the map. It tells you what the map is about. So it is the official description of the title of a map. It is a descriptive heading at the map. Parts of a map. Going to the legend and key. So what the legend and key does, what this is an example of a legend or a key. And what it does is identify and explain the different types of symbols that are used on a map. So for example, let's follow the cursor. In this particular map, we know that this red block brick kind of thing represents states. The blue represents territories. This represents unorganized territories. Come on, cursor, come back. All right, unclaimed areas, foreign areas, and then we will move to the next one. We'll see that the stars represent capitals of countries. Let's kind of bounce around to the bottom. You see like this red kind of action explosion sign. That represents major battles in the Tet Offensive. So whenever you're looking at a map, if you want to see what information is covered in the map, just take a look at the key or legend, and it will let you know what is covered in it. We're moving now to the compass rose, and the picture to your right, this is this is actually a compass rose. You will see these pretty much on all of your maps, and they have the sign. They have the directions, the major cardinal directions, right? North, south, east, and west. And this is just to help you guys keep track of what's going on in the map. And what a compass rose does, it just shows, once again, it shows the cardinal directions on a map. And the cardinal directions are the primary directions that you guys learn in school, right? The first one is north, south, east, and west. Sometimes, too, on the compass rose, you will see what we call intermediate directions. And these are the directions that are indicated here. If you follow the cursor where the blue signs are headed, these are like northeast, southeast, southwest, and northwest. So these are examples of intermediate directions. So intermediate directions are the directions in between the primary cardinal directions. Moving right along, that brings us to boundary lines. Now, what boundary lines are, these are lines that show the different borders between countries, parishes, states, whatever it is that we will be studying in the map, whatever it is that your map has. Cities. Most major cities in maps, you see those, they're indicated with a dot. Capital cities are normally indicated with the star, and nations' capitals are typically indicated with a star within a circle. That brings us down to the map scale. Now, the thing about the map scale is that it identifies the distance that is represented by the map. So we'll go over the three different types of map scales, and we'll have an activity on this. Should be at the end of your notes guide. In here, also, we'll practice a little bit of this in class. So the scales can get kind of tricky. Please do not stress out. If you have a hard time catching it, I will work with you on it in class tomorrow. All right, so 3 different types of maps. A verbal scale, 3 different types of scale. A verbal scale is 1 inch equals 1 mile. A representative fraction, which is when it's 1 inch equals 24,000 miles. And the type of scale that you would use mostly is the graphic scale. And that is when they give you on each particular map is when they show you the scale. And this scale, they will show you how much distance is represented by an inch or 2 on that map. So this is the type that we will focus on because this is what we will see most of the time when you're taking a look at a map. Map of the southeastern United States. So let's take a look and see what unit on this map measures scale. So the question they're asking us is what unit on this map represents scale. We'll take a look to answer this. Take a look down. Let's find the map scale. It is on this side of the page. It is down here. And it will tell us 1 inch. If you take a look and see, it says 1 inch equals 250 miles. Inches. Okay. So the answer is inches. Let's go to the next question. Hope I didn't answer that one already. What is the scale of distance? Yes, I've already answered that. So when they're asking what is the scale of distance, what they want to know is how many miles does 1 inch represent? And in order to find that, in order to discover that, let's make the cursor appear again. Come on, cursor. So the only thing you have to do is look down here. You have 1 inch. And how many inches does 1 inch equal? 250 miles. 1 inch equals 250 miles. Let's move along to the next slide. How far is it from Orlando to Atlanta? Now, what I do not want you to do is like put your ruler or anything on the screen, or if you're watching on your phone, do not worry about it. We will have practice on this in school. What you would do, though, if this was in front of you, the easiest way that I found to do it, get a piece of paper, and I think I've learned this learned this back in elementary school. So those are the things that stick with us, huh? Get a sheet of paper, mark the 0 distance, put the sheet of paper alongside the scale, put a mark for 0, put another mark for the middle, and another mark for 250. So you should have your sheet of paper, and there should be 3 marks in it, 3 marks on it that correlate with the 250 miles. I also, too, draw a straight line on it to make it look as much like this scale as possible. Then the next thing that you would do is, if this map were sitting in front of you, you would place one part of it here, one part of your scale that's on your paper here, and then lay it across until it gets to Orlando. Just us eyeballing it now, you can tell that this is not, that our scale is not big enough. So what would I do then? In that case, and this is just if you had a map in front of you, you would place your map here. You would place a part of your scale here. I think it would go, let's kind of eyeballing it to this part, make it almost to the tip of Georgia. You would then place an X or a dot on this part and lay your map scale here and add the 2 distances together. We'll get practice on this in class. And so it's about approximately 450 miles. All right, the end. Make sure you finish up your notes, guys. I will see you guys in class tomorrow.